do, YouTube? It's your boy Big Bang Cam, and I'm back with another reaction video. Y'all, like I said in the previous video, or this might be the first one, as of right now, we are at 198. We are at 198. We will hit 200 subs sometime this week. Let's clap it up. And I just want to thank all my supporters, bro. Everybody that watch every video, not even every video, every other video. I just want to say thank y'all, and I appreciate y'all for coming here with me. And just, you know what I'm saying? I just really thank y'all, bro. And I hope y'all continue to support me on my journey, bro. The journey really just getting started. And I'm thankful for those. I'm just really thankful for y'all, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all showed me a lot of support that I didn't know y'all was really gonna show me for real. But with that being said, today we got the Curse of Gucci Mane's 1017 label. Y'all, I just want to say rest in peace to everybody in the video beforehand, bro. I want to say free everybody that's, you know what I'm saying, in this video. Anybody that got locked up in his label. Not saying it's Gucci Mane fault. 100% not Gucci Mane fault. Everybody make their own decisions, everything like that. That being said, let's get into it.
Started his first label back in 2007, and it's been clear from the jump that he should have just stuck to rapping.
It's
Almost every
26
artist
minutes, so
he
I'm not gonna
signs
stop
either
it.
ends up dead or in jail. And today we're breaking down the wild stories behind why fans think his label, 1017, is cursed. The biggest reason everyone's talking about the 1017 curse lately is because of Enchanting's tragic death from overdose. She was a 26-year-old artist who signed with Gucci Mane back in 2020. But after dropping some music on his 1017 label, Enchanting went independent in 2022. Apparently, Enchanting had been fighting drug addiction for a while, and a few days before she passed away, she went to her friend's house to try to kick the addiction. Unfortunately, it didn't work out though, and on June 10th, Enchanting was rushed to the hospital because she had a heart attack caused by a drug overdose. She tragically died the next day, and Gucci hopped on social media to give his respects. But as soon as the news broke, people started talking about the 1017 curse and how Gucci's artists always end up dead or in jail. Gucci's wife, Keisha Kayor, jumped in to defend him. But there's a good reason why fans think something is wrong with Gucci's label.
I mean, you hired a bunch of drug addicts and killers. Like, what the
Soicy Entertainment.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry,
but like, bro. Artist and was pretty much dropping his own mixtapes through the label. But he did start working with Frenchie, Waka Flocka Flame, and some producers like DJ Drama.
Shout out Waka Flocka, bro. What's y'all know about Waka Flocka, bro?
To help him run the Soicy label. And after a few years, Gucci closed the label because Mazay Entertainment was allegedly acting shady. According to reports, they were selling Gucci's verses and booking him on shows he never agreed to. So Gucci dropped them and moved on. The first label didn't work out, but that didn't stop Gucci from trying again. In 2010, he started 1017 Brick Squad and signed artists like Waka Flocka Flame, OJ the Juice Man, and Slim Dunkin.
OJ the Juice Man, what the fuck?
Up and dropping some of the hottest trap music in the game. But it all fell apart when Gucci started beefing with Waka's mom. Waka's mom, Deborah, used to be Gucci's manager, but there were some money issues behind the scenes, and Gucci claimed that Deborah was stealing money from OJ the Juice Man and Frenchie. 1017 Brick Squad ended up falling apart over the situation, but the money drama wasn't the only issue the label had. Back in 2011, Slim Dunkin was at a studio in Atlanta getting ready to shoot a music video for Gucci Mane's track, Push Ups. Another rapper named Young Vito was at the studio that day, and something sparked a beef between him and Slim Dunkin. It's not clear exactly what happened next, but at some point, Young Vito upped his strap and tragically killed Slim Dunkin. Young Vito skated on the murder charge, but he was convicted of aggravated assault and possession of a firearm and got hit with a 25-year sentence.
Damn.
After it went down, Gucci raps about Slim Dunkin and Waka Flocka Flame on the track R.I.P. Slim Dunkin and said, "Man, I miss my dunk so much, I dig his up. If I could bring his back, I would dig his up. We would rarely go to sleep. We were balling so much. BSM in 1017. Dirt Gang, stand up. Remember, Flocka was my goon. Now he ran his mills up." Slim Dunkin wasn't the only OG on Gucci's roster who got hit with the 1017 curse though. OJ the Juice Man came up in the same apartment building as Gucci, and they were tight right before either of them started rapping. OJ and Gucci put out a lot of music together, and back in the day, OJ's mixtapes were popping off in the Southern hip-hop game. Everything was cool for a while, and in 2010, OJ was even featured on Double XL's freshman class. But then he started falling off, and even got into a Twitter beef with Gucci. Gucci had claimed that Waka's mom was stealing money from OJ, and for some reason, OJ got pressed at Gucci over the situation and said he was never actually signed to Brick Squad. OJ and Gucci squashed the beef, but OJ's been getting hit with the 1017 curse ever since. After he fell off in the rap game, OJ allegedly went straight back into the trenches. Back in 2022, he was booked on gun and drug charges. Then in March 2024, the news broke that OJ had been arrested again. According to the police report, a cop tried to pull him over for speeding in Georgia, but OJ didn't stop at first. OJ started a little chase, but then he decided to just pull over instead of making the situation worse. Speeding and running from the cops is bad enough, but it was about to get way worse for him. When the cops searched OJ's whip, they found cocaine, other drugs, and a gun too. OJ had been sitting in jail ever since the news broke, and it don't look like he's going to be coming home anytime soon. When Brick Squad was falling apart, Gucci started beefing with his artist Frenchie too. Frenchie is Waka Flocka's cousin, so Frenchie definitely wasn't going to switch up with Flocka and keep rocking with Gucci Mane. Frenchie even dropped a diss track aimed at Gucci called Sometimes and raps, "We built this company together, now you bugging out. Throw my hands on you? Nah, but I don't want to stock you out. Yeah, you got me screaming out. You don't want me to have what I have, because in my eyes, you a..." Gucci is the reason Frenchie even had a career, but Frenchie said that Gucci didn't want anyone in the team to win.
So if we switch from Soicy to go to Brick Squad, and you doing like you don't want an artist to get bigger than you. That's what it is with Gucci Mane. If you notice that.
They ended up squashing the beef, and Gucci even supported Frenchie when he started his own label, but the 1017 curse hit Frenchie hard. At first, it looked like Frenchie might be good at running the label. He was allegedly the first person to discover Nicki Minaj and French Montana.
Yeah.
So obviously, Frenchie could pick artists with huge potential. Unfortunately, the label didn't work out though, and it was all downhill from there. Frenchie's career started falling off fast. Then in 2021, he barely survived getting shot in the neck. Luckily, he made it out of the situation alive. But in 2023, he got wrapped up in another wild situation. Frenchie and a bunch of other dudes broke into a family's home because they thought there was $100K worth of weed stashed there. They raided the place and even pistol whipped an autistic teenager who lived there. But it turns out, there wasn't even any weed in the crib. Frenchie was allegedly in the house when it went down and drove the getaway car too. And in 2023, he got hit with a 12-year sentence over the situation.
Damn.
Gucci ended up catching a gun case in 2013 and was locked up for a couple
Damn,
of years.
nigga.
But when he came back home, he announced that he was starting a new label, 1017 Eskimo Records. Gucci signed artists like Rollo, Asian Doll, and Hood Rich Pablo Juan. And at first it looked like he had everything figured out. Rollo was the first one to sign on the new label. Rollo linked up with Gucci in the club, and Gucci wanted to know if Rollo had to deal with anybody.
I was in a club with my partner named Pete at QC, and Gucci, it was actually a Gucci party, and Gucci had done seen me. He broke his neck, like, "Oh, that Rollo." I gave him doubt, gave him some love. He told me I was a big fan of me, and he wanted to work with me, man, and he wanted to know was I signed to anybody.
Rollo had been hanging around Birdman, Young Thug, and a bunch of other rappers who had labels, but nobody had signed him yet. So the next day, Gucci brought Rollo to the studio with him and gave him a verse for free. And when Gucci set up 1017 Eskimo Records, Rollo was the first dude he called. Linking up with Gucci should have been a huge win for Rollo, but instead of focusing on the rap game, Rollo kept both feet in the trenches and ended up getting caught with almost 1,000 pounds of weed on a private jet.
Damn.
Cops took Rollo's properties, jewelry, and pretty much everything else from him. Getting caught still didn't slow down his hustle though, and Rollo got caught trying to make drug deals from behind bars and ended up getting hit with an 8-year sentence in 2022. While Rollo was locked up, his family tagged Gucci on social media and asked him for support. They said Rollo didn't want any money or anything like that, he just wanted Gucci to shout him out. It turns out that Rollo had already left 1017 Eskimo by the time he got caught though. Gucci Mane did an interview with Charlamagne the God and revealed that Rollo left the label and gave back all the money Gucci had given him.
We had parted ways on the music side, so he started doing music. He wanted to do his own music, and he actually gave me the money back for the deal he got before he got.
Wow.
That was crazy. Like he was like he do it on his own, which I had to respect that.
Mm-hmm.
So we had already parted ways business wise, but it's still my dog.
Back in 2021, Rollo hopped on social media and said he's not signed to 1017, but he still considers them all family. Rollo got hit with the 1017 curse, and the same thing happened to Hood Rich Pablo Juan. Pablo signed the 1017 Eskimo right after Rollo did. His name was popping after he dropped the track, We Don't Love Him, and everyone thought Pablo was going to blow up even more when he linked up with Gucci Mane. That's not how it all worked out though. Pablo started taking L's on social media, and in 2019, people started clowning him for allegedly getting beat, robbed, and stripped naked at the studio. Then Pablo got his chain snatched while he was trying to squash someone else's beef. Gucci ended up dropping Hood Rich Pablo Juan from the label, but that wasn't the end of Pablo's drama. In October 2020, he got hit with a RICO case, and the cops were claiming he was a member of the Rolling 20s Neighborhood Bloods. The cops started investigating him back in 2019, then named Hood Rich Pablo Juan and 45 other alleged Bloods in the indictment. It's not clear what they thought Pablo actually did, but he caught 2 charges for violating the Georgia RICO Act, and in 2022, he took a plea deal for 5 years in prison and 10 years of probation. There's a chance he'll get out early if he doesn't cause any issues on the inside, but he already got hit with the 1017 curse, and his career is pretty much dead at this point. Asian Doll was the first woman who ever signed with Gucci Mane. She had already been in the game for a couple of years and dropped a few mixtapes, but signing with Gucci was definitely the biggest moment of her career. Asian Doll said that other labels had reached out and wanted to sign her, but she thought linking up with Gucci was the best decision. Asian Doll and Gucci made headlines when the deal was signed, and Asian Doll dropped a couple of mixtapes on the label. It didn't take long before issues started popping up though. A few months after she joined Gucci's label, Asian Doll said she wishes she was still independent. She told the Dallas Observer that being on the label made everything too organized and that she missed being able to drop whenever she wanted to. Before Asian Doll linked up with Gucci Mane, she had dropped 6 mixtapes in 3 years, but the label apparently didn't want her to drop that much. There's a lot of planning that goes on behind the scenes when it comes to who gets to drop and when, and Asian Doll wasn't rocking with how they were doing business. So in 2020, Asian Doll announced that she was leaving 1017. According to her, she just asked Gucci to let her out of the deal, and he said okay. It was clear that there wasn't any bad blood, but that didn't stop Asian Doll from getting hit with the 1017 curse. Right after Asian Doll left the label, she got picked up on drug charges in Georgia and had to spend a few days in jail. Then in 2022, she was arrested again. Apparently, she had been wanted by the cops for over a year for not showing up in court and for speeding without a driver's license. Asian Doll didn't have to do a lot of jail time over the situation, but her career started falling off fast, and now her new music isn't making any noise in the industry at all. Lil Wop was another rapper that Gucci signed to 1017 Eskimo. Even though Lil Wop was from Chicago, he was still heavily inspired by Gucci Mane. His rap name was inspired by Gucci's nickname, Goo Wop, and Lil Wop even had a tattoo of an ice cream cone on his face. Lil Wop was the cousin of Famous Dex, the homies with Trippie Redd, and started popping off in 2016 when SoundCloud rap was blowing up. So when Gucci started his new label, Lil Wop was one of the first rappers he signed because it seemed like the perfect fit. But Lil Wop's music career never really took off after signing to 1017. After a few months, he started complaining that the label wasn't doing anything to help him. He ended up leaving the label in 2018 and never did much else in music. Instead, he started doing OnlyFans and later came out as bisexual on Twitter. Even though he looked up to Gucci growing up, Lil Wop
That's
hated
a crazy ass story.
In 2022, Lil Wop let it be known he was no longer associated with 1017 and called Gucci Mane a weirdo. Gucci's 1017 Eskimo label didn't work out at all. He allegedly spent over $4 million of his own money trying to get his artists popping, but all of them got hit with the 1017 curse and Gucci had to start all over again. He announced he was coming out with a different label called the New 1017, and this time, it actually looked different. Gucci started signing some of the hottest rappers in the game, like Pooh Shiesty, Big Scar, Fujiano, Hot Boy West, and Enchanted. Gucci finally had a label full of artists who all have momentum in the industry. They dropped a compilation tape called Soicy Boys, and overnight, Gucci was running one of the hottest labels in the game. They still couldn't outrun the 1017 curse though, and this time the downfall was crazier than ever. Fujiano signed with Gucci to the New 1017 and was on his way up in the industry. He came up in the trenches and had served time on burglary and robbery charges, but it looked like he had switched up how he was moving and was ready to take rapping seriously. But just a few months after he linked up with Gucci, Fujiano was involved with a wild shootout at a club during one of his shows. It's not clear how everything went down, but Fujiano's ops allegedly showed up during the set and started causing issues. Then both sides upped their straps and started letting off shots while fans ran for cover. 8 people got hit, and 2 of them tragically didn't make it out of the situation alive. Fujiano wasn't charged with shooting anyone, but his homie Jarquez Cooper was sentenced to 50 years for killing an innocent woman during the shootout. Fujiano's career already took a hit, but it was about to get way worse for him. In December 2020, he was booked for carrying a gun as a convicted felon. The judge let him out on a $50K bond, but Fujiano burned off his ankle monitor and did the race like Tay K. He didn't last long on the run though, and a few months later, he got caught by the feds. Now Fujiano is serving 5 years in prison, but he's not the only New 1017 rapper who got locked up. Pooh Shiesty hopped in the booth and started blowing up from the jump.
Free my nigga Pooh Shiesty. I just had to say that just one time. My bad.
He was running up crazy
Free
numbers
Pooh
with tracks
Shiesty.
like Hell Night, Chopper Talk, and Day One. Gucci Mane
My
saw the
guy.
potential and signed Shiesty in 2020, and that's when everything really took off for him. Gucci and Shiesty linked up in the studio for the track Still Remember. Then Shiesty kept up the momentum by working with superstars like Lil Baby and Lil Durk. Pooh Shiesty could have taken over the whole gang, but then he fumbled the bag and got caught up in some wild legal situations. He was booked in 2020 for a crazy robbery and shooting in Florida. Shiesty and his homies pulled up to a hotel parking lot to buy drugs and sneakers from 2 dudes, but then Shiesty pulled out a Draco and shot one of them. Soicy had plenty of money to buy whatever drugs and shoes he wanted, but for some reason, he decided to rob the dudes instead. And what makes the situation even crazier is that it went down right across the street from a police station. Soicy bonded out for the robbery. Then a few months later, he was arrested again for allegedly upping his strap at a strip club and hitting a security guard. Soicy skated on the strip club shooting because the witness took his statement back, but Soicy didn't get so lucky over the other situation. In 2022, he pleaded guilty to conspiracy charges, and now he's serving a 5-year sentence just like Fujiano. 5 years in prison is tough, but that's nothing compared to what happened to Gucci's artist, Hot Boy
Get out
West.
next year, bro.
Hot Boy
My
West
way,
in
get out
Texas
next year, for
started
sure.
buzzing in 2019 with his mixtape, Never Had. West already had a long rap sheet when he signed to the new 1017 label. He was sent to juvie back in 2010 for organized criminal activity, which basically just means gangbanging. Then he was hit with a 7-year sentence in 2013 for the same thing. Everyone knew that Hot Boy West had history in the streets, but nobody expected what was about to happen. It's not clear how much Gucci Mane paid Hot Boy West when he signed with 1017, but obviously, it wasn't enough for West. Gucci had given West a Rolex when they made the deal. Then West decided to sell the watch for $9K. West met up with the dude who wanted to buy the watch, and after the buyer handed over the money, West kept the watch and started to drive away. The other dude tried to stop him, and that's when West started hitting him with the car door.
Damn.
West sped off, but it wasn't long before the feds were on him. The U.S. Marshals caught up to West and arrested him. And what made the situation even worse is that West was carrying a stolen gun too. Getting booked on robbery and gun charges was bad, but it turns out that West already had a way more serious case hanging over his head. In 2020, Hot Boy West tried to run his baby mama's car into a cement barrier while their kids were in her car. The 1017 curse only got worse for Hot Boy West after that. He ended up pleading guilty to 2 counts of assault, family violence, assault with a deadly weapon, robbery, and a bunch of other things. And the judge sentenced Hot Boy West to 15 with a deadly weapon, robbery, and a bunch of other things.
I'm laughing, bro, because that's just so fucking random, bro.
Judge sentenced Hot Boy
Bro,
West
this
to
nigga got
15
me
years in
crying
prison.
again.
Road Boy was another rapper from
Who?
Tampa, Florida, who got hit with the 1017 curse. Road Boy signed a 1017 in 2020 after Gucci heard his music and randomly DM'd him at 4 a.m. After he signed, Road Boy had the first verse on the track 1017 Loaded, along with Gucci, Big Scar, Enchanting, Fujiano, and Pooh Shiesty. But like a lot of artists on the label, Road Boy's career didn't last long. Things started to go downhill after a gay dude posted a photo of himself with another man that he claimed was Road Boy and said Road Boy gave him an AP watch. Road Boy denied the rumor on Instagram, but also used a slur that caused a controversy online. Then Road Boy also took a shot at Gucci, claiming the 1017 chain he gave him was fake and he'd already been dropped from the label. Not long after that, Road Boy got arrested for burglary and carrying a concealed weapon, and his career never really went anywhere. Hot Boy West, Fujiano, Road Boy, and Pooh Shiesty all getting locked up definitely hurt the new 1017. But one of the biggest losses was when Big Scar tragically died in 2022. Big Scar came up in Memphis like Pooh Shiesty, and they were actually blood cousins. Scar dropped his first track in 2019, and a year later, he linked up with Gucci Mane and signed with him. 2020 was a huge year for him, but Scar almost died after getting shot in the hip. The bullet traveled through his body and ended up hitting his appendix, so Big Scar had to get the appendix removed. He had already survived a wild car crash in 2016, and Big Scar wasn't going to let the shooting slow him down. He started dropping hot tracks and was blowing up in the industry fast, and in 2022, he was featured on the XXL freshman class. In December 2022, news broke that Scar was going to go on tour with Key Glock, but unfortunately, that's not how it went down. Big Scar had been struggling with drugs for a long time, and on December 22nd, 2022, he tragically died from an accidental overdose while he was at his girlfriend's house. Signing rappers from Memphis looked like a good idea for Gucci. There's a lot of great artists in the city, but all of the dudes who signed to Gucci have been hit with the 1017 curse. And this next Memphis rapper from 1017 got wrapped up in a crazy murder case right before his career popped off. Mac Critter was one of the hardest working rappers in Memphis. In 2021 and 2022, he dropped almost 20 mixtapes, and his name was buzzing all over the city. He linked up with Gucci Mane in October 2022 and had the chance to blow up, but instead, he allegedly kept both feet in the trenches and caught a body just a couple months later. In December 2022, a dude named Markeith Taylor was killed in an empty parking lot in Memphis. According to the police report, Mac Critter and 3 of his homies were sitting in an SUV. They told Markeith Taylor to get out of his car and come over to him, and that's when they upped their straps and started letting off shots. Then just a couple hours later, another dude was shot to death around the same area. It turns out that he was related to Markeith Taylor. and the cops think the two shootings are linked. Another crazy part about the situation is that one of the other dudes arrested for killing Markeith Taylor is Matt Critter's sister's baby daddy. Matt Critter is still signed to 1017, but at this point, it's not clear if he'll ever be free again. But Matt Critter isn't the only one of Gucci's rappers who allegedly upped his strap on somebody, and this next news story is even crazier. Kato 2 Times is another Memphis rapper linked up with Gucci and signed to the 1017 label. Before he hopped in the booth, Kato 2 Times was allegedly heavy in the streets and repped a crew called Rich and Ruthless, aka Double R. Kato already had a first-degree murder charge in 2017 and an assault charge in 2019. But when he signed with Gucci, it seemed like he was ready to turn it all around. But right after he signed the contract, Kato got booked for allegedly shooting his own brother at a Lil Baby concert. In September 2023, Lil Baby was doing a show at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. It's not clear what actually went down, but after Lil Baby took the stage, somebody started letting off shots and the show got cut short. The dude who got hit was a rapper named CEO Jizzle. According to reports, Kato and Jizzle were standing beside each other when the shots started going off, and the cops think Kato was the one who hit Jizzle. If Kato did shoot Jizzle, it was probably an accident though. They're allegedly blood brothers, and they've been making music together for years. Rumors say that Kato was trying to shoot an op, and Jizzle just got caught by a stray bullet. But right now, nobody knows what really happened. When the cops found Kato 2 times and arrested him, they found out that he was already on bond for 3 different felony cases, including the murder charge from back in 2017. Just like Matt Critter, Kato 2 times is still on 1017, but it's gonna be a long time before he can start putting on for the label again. If you're a rapper from Memphis, it's clear that you should sign with pretty much anyone besides Gucci Mane, because in 2024, his artist FTO Set was arrested too. FTO Set was still in the Memphis trenches when Gucci reached out to him. Gucci told Set that he saw the potential he had and wanted to get him out of the streets.
I called me like Gucci on the phone. Like Gucci like, hey, what's up? I'm like, what's up, Rock? He like, I want to change your life. I want to see, like, I see something in you. He just something about you. Like, he read it to me, like, I see me in you.
So Set signed with 1017 and started buzzing in the rap game. Everything was looking up for Set. But then in February 2024, the news broke that he had been arrested because his bonds on an old case was revoked. Back in 2022, Set was arrested for running from the cops, having a stolen gun, a Glock with a switch on it, and weed. It's not clear why the bond was revoked, but Set hopped on IG and told his fans that he was going to be home soon. It looks like FTO Set bonded out again and is free now, but he might still be facing some serious charges. Gucci obviously likes signing street dudes from the South. Back in 2021, he gave a deal to Arkansas rapper Big Fizzle. Big Fizzle was still in high school playing football when he signed with 1017, but he already had a buzz in the industry from tracks like Bandit and Superfly. The 1017 curse didn't hit Big Fizzle immediately. For a couple of years, he was staying out of trouble and racking up huge numbers. He had features from dudes like Quavo, and Big Fizzle even had a track on the Fast and Furious soundtrack. But it seems like when you sign to Gucci Mane, it's only a matter of time before something bad happens. And in 2024, Big Fizzle got arrested for gun and drug charges. It's not clear if he'll have to do any jail time over the situation, but hopefully he gets back to the bag and learns how to move smarter. Big Fizzle getting booked like that is good, but at least he didn't get stripped out of his clothes on camera like this next dude. Lil Rise, a rapper from Alabama who started off independent and built some buzz around his name. One day he was sleeping at his crib, and his manager woke him up and said Gucci was on the phone and wanted to talk to him. Lil Rai thought his manager was joking at first, but it turns out Gucci had been trying to link up with him for a while.
I was asleep at my homeboy Dave's house, and he woke me up like, Gucci on the phone trying to talk to you, so I just turned around like, then he do it again, and he like, yo, manager. And he like, your manager on the phone. He like, Gucci trying to call you. So yeah, we get on the phone.
Lil Rai chopped it up with Gucci over the phone. Then Gucci flew him out to New York and signed him to the new 1017. After he signed the deal, Lil Rai went on the No Jumper podcast, and Adam 22 actually asked him about the 1017 curse.
Are you worried at all about the alleged 1017 curse?
I be hearing about that. I ain't worried about that.
You don't buy it?
Hell nah. Hell nah.
But that's because he didn't know what was about to happen to him. Lil Rai started beefing with NBA Youngboy because he thought Youngboy dissed him and called him a rookie. Youngboy had been locked up on house arrest in Utah for a while, and Lil Rai sent shots at him on the track I Don't Respond and raps, I don't stay too far from Utah. Take a trip to see the view, ha. Who? Why? You? died. Who? Bah Woo. My brother claimed he died Moo. Ain't believe him till I see him draw blood. When you hit in your head, that blood rush out just like a flood. Lil Rye and NBA Youngboy started going back and forth. Then some goons caught up to Rye while he was at a mall in Atlanta and robbed him on camera. Youngboy clowned him over the situation, and rumors started flying that the NBA crew were the ones who jumped Lil Rye. But it turns out that it was actually some 4L affiliates who robbed him. After it went down, the 4L dudes banned Lil Rye from Atlanta and said he better get out of the city.
All we didn't take your chain because you ran to the police 12 ass. Hurry me with your goof ass. Yeah. Get the fuck out the city. You know why we didn't take your chain? Police ass, tap in.
But Rye clapped back and told him to drop their location. The whole situation was a bad look for Rye though. He was able to keep his 1017 chain, but that didn't stop people from clowning him all over social media. Lil Rye was talking tough online after it went down, but the video of him getting robbed like that is probably going to follow him for the rest of his career. Even though he never officially signed to Gucci, Coach the Ghost is another rapper who got hit by the 1017 curse. Coach the Ghost is a rapper from Brooklyn who's affiliated with a set of the GDs that are known to be for grip rappers like Pop Smoke and Fabio Foreign. Coach the Ghost blew up with a song called Hit List, where he dissed Pop Smoke right after Pop had just died. Gucci heard the song and asked fans on Instagram to help him find Coach so he could sign him to the new 1017. Soon after, Coach the Ghost posted photos of himself rocking a 1017 chain, and everyone thought he signed to the label, but when the Soicy Gang compilation dropped with all the new artists on the label, Coach the Ghost wasn't on it, sparking rumors that he was already dropped. Coach the Ghost later revealed that Gucci helped him get a deal directly with Atlantic, the label that owned 1017. Coach the Ghost was a Brooklyn drill rapper and didn't really fit the southern trap sound of 1017. Plus, Gucci probably didn't want to get in the middle of one of the biggest beefs going on in New York, especially after Coach the Ghost dissed Pop Smoke. Signing to Atlantic didn't really help Coach the Ghost's career or save him from the 1017 curse. Coach the Ghost never had another big hit after that, and in 2022, he ended up getting arrested for murder while he was on the run in Georgia. Coach the Ghost had already spent 6 years in prison for a shooting and was still on parole when he got locked up, so he probably won't be out anytime soon. It's wild how Gucci's artists keep getting locked up, jumped, and dying young. A lot of fans think the label is cursed, and even Gucci's wife Keisha Kayor asked him about why his artists keep going to jail. It's a question a lot of people have been asking, but Gucci's answer made a lot of sense.
Well, you know what I'm saying, to be honest, I was one of those type of artists. I was always going back and forth to jail, and I try to, like, help those artists that I feel like, I see a lot of myself in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with that being said, I try to ride it out with them through their little bumps or whatever they're going through. But I feel like if I'm not helping them, who else gonna help them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody says that part of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Gucci knows what it's like to bounce back from that and come out on top, and he wants to help young artists who are headed in a bad direction. Almost all of Gucci's artists had crazy legal records before they ever linked up with him, but Gucci still gave him a chance to leave the streets behind and make it in the music industry. But even if you give someone a chance, you can't make them switch up how they move. And unfortunately, a lot of the rappers he signs just fumbles the bag. Gucci's been getting a lot of hate just because he's trying to get people out of the trenches. Some people think his label is cursed, but at the end of the day, he's just making deals with people who don't know how to leave the streets alone.
Here we go.
Let this be a lesson to all my, you know what I'm saying, followers that want to be inspired rappers. If you gonna rap, you gotta leave the streets alone, gang. It's just facts. It's your boy Big Ray Cam. Let me out.